Hello, friends. Welcome to Monday. How's everybody feeling? Maybe, maybe we won't be monetized. It is a little tilted. Hello. How is everybody? This is a Trent Reznor remix of Symphony of Destruction that I rediscovered in my archives, in my piles of CDs, because I'm all about the physical media. Don't give me a download you can take away. Don't give me a subscription you can cancel on me. Don't do it. Yeah, I'm pissed off right now. Switch 2, Nintendo, you bastards. You just turn it off. You just turn off my content. I bought that thing. Anyway, you're not here for that. Hello. How is everybody doing this Monday? You got Mark, you got Mike, you got Jason, you got Jesse. Hello. Brandon Carr. My good Lord, everyone on Jeff's channel getting tipsy. American Psycho. Only book 4 hours to sell all 750. But Miller's A Different Darkness still has copies left. Yes. Well, you got Folio, who's got that worldwide audience. Everybody, I'm sorry. I'm going to be doing this. I'm just going to be adjusting. I don't know. And you're going to get that. You're going to get the wider reach. It doesn't matter. I think, it is tipsy. Oh, goodness. Whatever. You're going to be looking down the barrel of a twisted freak this week, I guess. I'm in the slanty shanty, the loudmouth. Anyway, so I don't think that's all that weird. You got a wider reach. American Psycho. It is a big time cult classic. There's a lot of variables. There are a lot of variables, and what are you going to do? I'm putting my rings on. I'm getting dressed. Ever see those videos? They annoy the living shit out of me. The trend. I mean, I think the theme is just I'm annoyed. And it's basically people getting ready and they're talking. Like, let me get dressed. And I talk, and then, and it's like, I don't think nobody wants to see that. You're feeding into a voyeur society. Nobody wants to see that. Anyway, thrilled to find a Trent Reznor remix of Symphony of Destruction. I think Megadeth won the battle. The new Megadeth album is better than 72 Seasons. Changed my mind. And when I found this remix and I found out Dave Mustaine actually likes this remix, it's called the Gristle Edit, if there are any mega fans out there. Anyway, so good to see you. Do the roar. Do the roar. Who's doing a roar? Yo, Mitch is here. Good to see you, Mitch. It's past your bedtime. Hello, Christopher Bowers. Ron, evening. Hi, bro. Guess who? Hi. Well, hello, bro. I only have one bro, one brother. And if you are Doug, hello, Doug. Welcome to the thing. Or you know what? I am the brother. See, hi, bro. Guess who could be my sister? I have one sister. See, it's funny how I saw hi, bro, and I thought of my bro, not my sis. It's weird. It's weird what language does to the brain. The attack of the 10-foot fingers, their tentacles. Hey, Alexis, finally here. Always forget to swap accounts. It's funny. Good to see you. Glad you could be here. Tim, who won the game after the concert that everyone's talking about? Is anybody talking about I got to say, IDGAF, and most of it is because of all the stuff I've seen about NFL being rigged. And the blatant clips, the clips that blatantly show idiotic plays that are just inexplicable. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I play one on TV. And I think, I don't know what I think anymore. So I just tapped out. There's just too much drama. And then I saw, the answer, the Kid Rock answer to the Bad Bunny halftime show, which was even more pathetic. There are all these people rocking out to Kid Rock who obviously would never voluntarily listen to Kid Rock. So I think the whole thing is making a fool of everybody. The whole drama. I'm out, man. I'm out, unsubbed, truly, truly independent on Super Bowl Sunday. Because it's clownery to even give a shit about any of that stuff is the height of distraction. But I don't know who won the game. I don't even know. The Seahawks and the Patriots. I have no idea. It used to be a thing I liked to do, and now it is a thing I like to avoid, I suppose. I don't know. We all get older. I don't know. I love you, Beef Daddy. Well, I love you too, Jesse. Love all my friends here. Hey, keep it clean. Yeah, I said the F bomb on the rant I had during the week. Did anybody see that? It was a pretty popular one. I almost did another one, but I said, no, you know what? I don't have to go live every time I get a goddamn email from that dick chiz, right? I don't have to. I have impulse control. I can just hold off and just wait to put it in the dumpster fire that is the Monday lives. And just treat it like an extra log. Just put it in there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about Cemetery Dance because they are absolutely getting desperate. I've talked to somebody in the chats and we were spitballing like what could possibly be going on. I think bankruptcy. I think Dick Chiz is running out. And the more money he can funnel directly to himself and create that division between himself and the business, the better for him, right? So just choke the business, let that fail. But meanwhile, he's putting all the money. It's really stupid because I'm sure anybody in a bankruptcy proceeding could say you were selling these books and funneling the money directly to your Venmo and PayPal accounts instead of going to the business. How much did you get? Let's see the receipts on that. And I mean, it probably would not take a very good lawyer. You don't need Saul Goodman to peel that onion. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find it pretty quickly. It's really stupid. I mean, I have a baseline understanding of all the stuff Jill does for us with our business. And there are hard lines you do not cross, man. Across this line, you do not. Also, Dick Chiz is not the preferred nomenclature. Dick Chiz, please. I watched it later. Almost as bad as Kid Rock's songs. Oh, the game itself was terrible. Was it? Hey, Rob loves books. Good to see you, Lance. Good to see you. Did I miss anybody? This has been the longest Monday. I'm sorry. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, hey. Well, hello. I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry. You could probably hear me all the way in Chicago. David Perry's here too. I'm glad to see. It's such a good crowd. Warms my heart. So yeah, almost as bad as Kid Rock songs. It's funny. I saw somebody. Well, whatever. I'm not getting into that because it's all like again. You could just talk about it. You could splice it, give your opinion. I have Kid Rock's one album that Joe C is on. You know Joe C. Joe to the C. Ho. Call me Joe C. I got more game than Coleco. I'm a freako. Call me sick. And then the lyrics get worse. So I don't see how Kid Rock can have a moral high ground with the shit he says. Whatever. To each his own. I did like the album. Bow with the Bow, Bang a Dang Diggy. You know that album. Devil Without a Cause. I'm going platinum. You know that. I did like it. I enjoy music. I don't put all that extra self-righteous bullshit on music or art like that. Just let it be, but whatever. We're drinking beer tonight. Mitch, it was a great defensive battle. I don't even know who won, actually. I don't think I saw. Yeah, who won? Anybody want to fill me in? I'm getting Doc Brown here tonight. You're getting Doc Brown on the mic. Yeah, who won? Seahawks. 29-13. Wow. Interesting. A defensive battle. I I have respect for that. It is a more boring game, of course, but that's 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 should be Super Bowl caliber teams getting on that turf, getting on the gridiron. They should be a defensive battle because the idea is you're going up against somebody, another team with super skill. You gotta stop them if they got a high powered offense. I don't know. I haven't watched really any football, and my fantasy football record reflects that pretty well. Twister Retreat is sending my two missing third rule, the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre copies. They thanked me for my patience, but they didn't apologize or offer an explanation. I'll see if they sent an apology in the box. Yeah, their place to offer an apology should be in the email. Am I right? I think that would be the easiest place to handle it. So I don't know why they wouldn't have. That is an awesome addition, by the way. Until we get the Earthling, it'll be the champ. A friend of mine won $7,200 on a $100 square. Hope he's buying this week. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I used to get in those Super Bowl pools. I don't anymore. American Badass is good too. Good evening, Patty. Good to see you. We're talking singers, and you know all about singing. I meant the history of rock. Are you with Centipede? Me, Moon Fierce Paws? I'm not with Centipede. I am a big fan of Centipede. I'm not part of the Human Centipede. I assume you're talking about Centipede Press. I love Centipede Press. Jared Walters. Am I messing up his name? Is a phenomenal guy. Does phenomenal books. I wish I had his American Psycho. That's the one I would really want. So I'm not with them. I'm not paid by anybody. If anybody did pay me, it would be Mitch, but he just published my story, so that's kind of like bribery. So yeah, I get paid. Like I'll get paid if this stays monetized, but I played Symphony of Destruction, so I don't know if it'll stay monetized. But if it stays monetized, I'll probably make $1. So from YouTube pays me. But no, I'm not with Love Centipede Press. I haven't collected anything from him in a long time. The last book I got was Gila, and it was a gift from a friend on the channel, Alan. So, yeah. Oh, I see. I looked up Centipede and found you. Oh, yeah. I had a video what to expect when you're collecting Centipede. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Jesse, do the roar. What roar? Oh, are you talking about watch him become a god? Is that Symphony of Destruction? Dave Mustaine, probably the worst singer in the top 4 thrash bands. Is that I don't know, is that what you're talking about? Look, we gotta fix this. We gotta get right with the stream. You don't cross the streams, man. That's better. I don't know. Is anything better? I've seen those on eBay already for up to $199. Oh, got a good price on a new signed edition from The Martian from Books A Million this morning. If anyone's interested in getting one too. Oh, The Martian, the Andy Weir book. Huh. I did not know that, but that is good. And are you talking about Twisted Retreat, Mike? That's real. Oh, the Twisted Retreat. That's crazy. $199, and it was like I got 2. Maybe Beef Daddy needs some more gas in the car. Had a blowout. I got to buy bought a tire. Kid Rock peaked on Joe Dirt. Oh, again, like I don't have any objection to Kid Rock, but when they pan that audience, just picture the audience and who is getting into Kid Rock. Like they would step over him if he was passed out on the street, call the cops to get the trash picked up. and they're in there pretending they give a shit. It's all a game. I mean, the Super is the only game being played, and it's probably the most inconsequential one. How do people usually find you? I don't know. I think they're sentenced by court order to watch me. It's probably like counts as community service. I don't know. I should look up the SEO. I should look into search terms or whatever. I don't know. I think you throw Stephen King in a title on a video, people will find you. And I took the unpopular opinion of not like adoring 11/22/63, so I still get a lot of clicks and views on my review of 11/22/63, with people like really just being mad about me not liking that book as thoroughly, which is fine. I mean, I didn't hate it, but didn't love it. Greetings and salutations, Stephen Wayne Allison Jr. Good to see you. Oh, the Gervasio Gallardo art book is great. Mind-bending art. Yeah. I think a lot of people were so jazzed about it. I was thinking Shrek from Shrek. Oh, the roar from Shrek? That was a burp. What? Oh man, you guys. How did you go to Shrek? What? What about this whole thing says Shrek? I mean, loud, obnoxious, but I'm not bald. I do have weird ears. You might not know it, but I got deformed ears at the top. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows why. We find him annoying. Yes, there you go. How do people find you? I missed it, Mark. I feel so stupid now. How do people find you? They usually find me obnoxious. That was odd. Mark, damn it. We need you in the studio, like giving notes. Like I like those shows where you hear people in the background. They're not mic'd, but they're part of the show, and they usually say the funniest thing. You win that one, Mark. Yeah, cheers. Oh, well, thank you, Moon Fierce Paws. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. And I don't take any offense at what Mark says at all. Mark's good people. He busts the stones, he busts the balls. That's what he's from a different time. He's a boomer, right? And they bust the stones. That's what they do. They bust balls. I think Kid Rock needs a name update. He certainly doesn't look like a kid. No, somebody posted like when did Kid Rock? Well, Kid Rock has completed his transformation into Dr. Phil. It was so perfect. He with the mustache. It was just really. It would make you chuckle. I found you have centipede in the description. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I like that. I found him because of his love for CD. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. I thought I would just come out like on it, but you know what? It's like you just can only take so much. And I will say I was so disappointed today in Dan Franklin because I got to pull him up now because I've always given him not a total pass, not a pass, but because he's an adult, he's taking a role at a company run by a guy who does really shitty, awful, shitty business practices. And you can't just decouple yourself from that entirely. The only grace I give him is that maybe he was like he needs a job real bad. I don't know what his options are. I don't know where he sees himself. I don't know what he gets paid. I don't know how it fits into his life. Maybe it fits that sweet spot where I know Kevin Lucia didn't last that long. And Dan's holding down the fort. They used to have another Dan Hocker there. He left. So you got Mindy, who's the mainstay. She's there all the time. And then now Dan Franklin. I haven't heard from Lisa. I forgot her last name. I haven't heard from her in ages. she tried to gin up like the excitement, and I remember like she posted something early on about cemetery dance, and she got slapped down. And she's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Like let's." And it's like, Lisa, you got to understand who you're repping, and sort of the traction, the way this whole shit show is going. There's already momentum, and you stepped in front of a speeding bullet train of shit. You're gonna get splattered. And again, either step to the side and get out of it, or yeah. So Dan Franklin, I'll share this with you. So I was pleased to see Ari. um he took my exact meme here when I ranted about itchy and scratchy money. And he took that whole thing. So he's like, I tend to stay out of the discussions against cemetery dance, but I must confess the last email they sent was, in my opinion, way too much. It's a match it credit, so that's you give them 100 real dollars, and they'll give you 100 phony dollars to use against imaginary books that they will never publish, so that you're never going to see these books, and you're gonna have the satisfaction of having 100 imaginary dollars. Um, it's a matching credit. Send them money, and they'll add twice that money to your balance. Nothing new here, except that every single offering from Cemetery Dance in the last several months doesn't allow you to pay using that credit. To make it even more incredible, in the same email, they're offering the Man in the Black Suit, chapbook, and slipcases, and neither of them can be purchased with credit because, again, you're circumventing Cemetery Dance because he's a goddamn charlatan. This guy is a pile of shit, and he is now circumventing his own business, saying, send it directly to me, and I'll send you these things if they ever get done. So, somebody posted, and I saw shamelessly plugged my channel, of course, shamelessly. And I'm trying to see where Dan chimed in. Oh yeah, it was under Patrick King. I don't know if you're watching Patrick King, but yes. Hey, Jason Murphy's here. Good to see you. Don't worry, Jeff. I didn't like King Sour, maybe from getting slapped in the face too many times with political statements and books, but I just grew fatigued from his many in King Sour. Really? I didn't hear that feedback. I don't like it when the politics choke the story out of the story, but they have to serve. If they serve the story, I'm all there for it, but not if they choke it. I got Operation Bounce House today from the sign page. Awesome. That's Matt Dinneman. Thank you. I'm here all week. Imagine that though one of your subscribers were finding certain people and they found you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just all over and I just don't really do much. I found Jeff's channel when I was first learning about Suntop. I also have that. Yeah. Lisa posted a bunch over the weekend about the Jack Ketchum release. I didn't see it. Huh. Interesting. What's up, Herbert? Anthony Vincent, good to see you. I went on a rant to my boyfriend about about this last week. Yeah, it's so anyway, what really got me was Patrick was just talking about this just keeps building. I know Dan Franklin, since isn't involved with these decisions or the finances, but when can we get a legit update on all these things? It's becoming so toxic. Emails being fired out by CD of products that don't go on the website and his backlog of 10 plus years and running, acting like nothing is wrong. Seriously, when will anyone address within CD with an honest, real answer? And I think that is like what everybody's starving for. What he's saying is an acknowledgement of your douchebaggery. Really, all you've ever had to do was step up to a microphone and say, yeah, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. I've done the best I can, and the best I can really, really sucks. And I after that, I don't know, but an apology, an acknowledgement. But they just keep going. And so it was just kind of annoying because here's Dan Franklin's response. The reason things aren't currently popping up on the website is our IT person said we can't add items at the moment. Until the situation is resolved, I can't even push stuff already on the site. The shipping is jacked up right now. So, as far as I know, they're selling directly to put the shipping correct manually one by one. What? As far as I know, Patrick King is begging for information, is somebody to step up and legitimately answer with real information. And the best we can get from Dan Franklin is, as far as I know. And there's a tech problem. You're running a business and your e-commerce platform can't accept money. Well, holy shit. Do you not stop everything and fix it? No, they're gonna soldier on, and they are. This is such a crock of shit. They're gonna soldier on and still funnel money to Dick Chiz. And I gotta point something else out in a minute, but the stuff they're selling is just empty promises. That's all they're doing, and it's getting more and more desperate. I honestly think they're gonna file for bankruptcy. I am a designer. Not sure of what kind of question you want answered here. Oh, I mean, don't take that tone, man. Like, it's really, and I liked him. I still like him. Maybe he's having a bad day. Dan Franklin, maybe he had a bad day. But at some point, you can't separate the soldier from the general. If you're following those orders and they're bad orders and you're awful and you're like, I don't know, going rogue, you cannot separate. You are following his orders. You can leave. You can do something else. But to get mad at somebody, I mean, these are legitimate things. I'm a designer. I design and write books. I come on this group without being asked by anyone at CD to try and keep people in the loop on where I see projects sitting. So he's like, don't blame me. I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart. I design and write books. That's all I do. And he's going to come on here and not answer any questions, but he's keeping people in the loop. But he's going to be mad about it. Like, then don't show up. I think silence is better. I think silence is better. Because honestly, Dan, you're the meat shield. You're just taking the bullets, dude. You're we want to talk to the guy behind you. Can we talk to the boss? Can we go Karen on you and talk to your manager? Because you're irrelevant. Especially if you come on here with an attitude and get mad that somebody's a little upset. That's it. CD has lots of overdue books. That is absolutely the primary issue. We're chipping away at the overdue projects, but I have no power to snap and make it happen. If you're asking about the value of a matching offer, it comes down to your finances and spending plan. Is best I'd figure of any deal offered by any company. If it's not a good deal for you, certainly don't buy it. Wow. So I was saddened to lose a little, to have Dan Franklin move down in my rankings, because I like to see the best in people, to give people the benefit. I like to do that. I would rather do that, because it's actually very depressing and frustrating and infuriating when you're dealing with awful people and you know that these people are awful. I'd like to pretend my world has fewer awful people in it. So I will cut you a break. And here I can't. I can't now. Like, you're making such really awful excuses. Get your IT guy to fix whatever the issue is. Maybe you're not paying the guy and he's not doing it. I don't know. I don't know what your log jams involve. I don't know what's going on. But when you have RE Racing is a huge, big time Stephen King collector. He's like right up there with Chris Webster. I had a question about the magazine that came with Bag of Bones, and he answered me right away. He's like, he gave me the price he sold his for, but he's a very knowledgeable guy, and he would not do anything to jeopardize his position in line for a Stephen King collectible. He's all in on Stephen King, and I don't see this guy. At least that's my impression from the outside. He doesn't. He doesn't. He wants to be there when those titles are announced. He wants to be that guy that gets that private email link for a Stephen King lettered edition. And here he is, basically not burning a bridge, but waving a match. When you get to Ari, in my opinion, you're reaching the end of the rope. I hope you tied a little knot on the end because it's going to get real windy and you're going to be dangling because he's not somebody who there are a couple of people like Ari who are big time people. They're behind the scenes. They're making they're making their adjustments. They're doing the calculus. They're not saying much. They say things to each other, to other big collectors. And it sounds like he's making a verdict about Cemetery Dance. And Dan I don't know if Dan ever addresses him directly, but he goes after Patrick King. Okay. And probably because King tagged him. Yeah. I mean, that's, you summoned Dan Franklin. But Dan should have taken a few breaths, should have understood that he might feel like, yes, we're behind on books. But that feeling of constantly explaining that you're behind on bad books, on delivering the books, is even worse for the person waiting. So suck it up. You might find yourself explaining over and over again the same issue because the issue hasn't been solved. So get to the answer part of the situation and fix it. And don't have an attitude. I mean, so many. I this one person messaged me after my rant. The rant from that live got a lot of chatter, and I think a lot of people do see the desperation in these emails. This one guy told me, another big time King guy. He's $12,000 in to Cemetery Dance, and that's one guy. To think of the money, which is also the trust that these people have put in, it's an interest-free loan. And to think of all the months that went by where Richard Chismar has used that money to pay bills and not deliver anything, and that money goes out, he doesn't have any more. Now he can't get his books from the printer because he has to pay the back half of the contract. He can't pay his IT guy to fix his website. He can't, like, who is he paying? And then all his only play is hustle. His only move is hustle. All he could do is work these exhausted, fatigued email lists and keep spamming them. I got another thing. And Stephen King obviously gave him permission to do Man in the Black Suit. This will get me out of it. He's like that person who's fallen on hard times, can never get himself out of it, and swearing, Uncle Steve, this is the last time. I won't ask you for anything else. I know we don't have Flight or Fright out. I know we don't have A Face in the Crowd out. I know we don't have Pet Sematary out, but I swear, let me get the Man in the Black Suit out. Do the roar, Mitch. Oh, man. Uh-oh. He's helping Chismar steal from people. Wait. What do we got here? What are you all saying? I missed a lot. $100 says that Chiz's number says that Chiz has a number in mind before he claims bankruptcy. It's just his pledge drive. Yeah, I know. I'm just waiting for the GoFundMe page for CD to keep them in business. That's a private GoFundMe. That's all King. I work IT. That reply has my eye twitching. And I'm sure, Alexis, it's like they throw everybody under the bus. The printer, the tray case maker, the IT guy. It's COVID. It's always somebody else. It's always. And they always have, like, the most creative thing Chismar writes are the excuses that come out of Dan Franklin's mouth. And I got to say, if if Dan, if you don't like that hand up your ass, quit being his puppet. Some of his posts has made me not to ever want to read Dan Franklin. Some of his books look interesting, but I just hope not until he leaves CD. Yeah, the Steel Machines, right? Wasn't there one like that? I mean, yeah, I was curious. But right, with the CD name is poison to me. I won't ever I won't ever go. Yeah, he's helping Chismar steal from people. That so you're talking about Dan Franklin. Yeah, and I think at some point I got to quit dicking around and see people for who they are, you know? And that I think that is clear. And if you're helping the criminal, you don't get a pass. Same, Mitch, same. I've had a separate issue with Dan that makes me not want to read his stuff, but I'll keep that in the DMs. Oh, look at this guy. Hope all the idiots apologies to all here that are owed for past books saved their receipts. I'm not owed for past books. Well, I am, but it's so negligible that I would like that one book was 2013, Mitch, DM me that info, that tea, please. Yeah, I'd like to know, Mitch. Everybody wants to know. It's not a huge deal, more just annoying and was a cherry on top. Mitch, you can't do this. You can't do this. Could only stay until 9 later. Take it easy. I'm sorry I didn't get to say later to you. So see ya, brother. Just a bunch of excuses from a company who just does not care. I know. Is he from Argentina? Yeah. Doing their calculus from his abacus. I don't know. I think people in Argentina have calculators. They don't just have abacuses. Got to have soft skills and tact. At least he's getting paid to say the issue versus people not getting product paid for. Yeah. Is Chiz earning interest from all that money he probably invested instead of printing those books? Yeah, who knows? I don't even think he's that Machiavellian though. I don't think he took all that money and did something smart with it. But it's possible. He could have gotten a huge payday for let's just say Face in the Crowd, 52 lettered editions at $4,000 a pop, and it sold out. So perhaps he threw it all in a bank account, a high interest yield, whatever, and then made money on that money and just paid bills. I don't know how far that would get you after all this time. What's funny is that Dan was saying they're doing Pet Cemetery, then Gwendy's Final Task, then the Omnibus, didn't even mention Face in the Crowd. That's funny because what he actually said was, I'm not sure if Pet Cemetery is going to come out next, if it's going in the queue next, or if it's going to be Gwendy's Final Task or Gwendy Omnibus and then Pet Cemetery. It's like, you should be so personally disgusted by the things you are saying to these paying customers that you just like, I can't live with myself. Like if I was Dan Franklin, I would have a huge problem knowing what's going on, unless he has some information which makes Richard Chismar look like he's just misunderstood. But then clear it up. I mean, just clear it up. Just say like, look, Richard Chismar suffered several strokes in the matter of 2 weeks, and his brain is just not, he's going through a health crisis. Something profound that you would be like, okay, I understand some bad shit happens. There ain't nothing like that going on. Nor Flight or Fright. Yeah. If everyone buys a Rapture gift cred for $500, I'll match the credit and we'll also spill the tea. Will you? Mitch, if I pay $500 You'll give me another 500 on top of that, Mitch? Are you this could be you're making a statement, Mitch. You didn't put JK. Is Gwendy's final task printing the rest of the books? Yeah, Gwendy. Her final task is just I just wanted to deliver the good books to everybody. That's good. Tell us whatever makes this sane. Yeah. Nothing will. Nothing will. Mitch, I'm gonna have to give you 500 if I get five bennies out of it. It's very tempting, man. Because I like what Rapture does. I know you have the King Straub ready. Yes, I'm going to talk about that. Do I need it? Okay, so like yes. The here there was something funny that um there was something funny that I got to share. So one of the things that Chismar is pumping, trying to get money for, are these 5 slipcases which are back from the dead. So you send them the money to his personal account, buy as many as you want, and you might get them by some certain date. I don't even know if he says. Um, these particular cases for sell insane prices, whatever. We'll be producing 250 slipcases for each title, and they will be available later this summer. And in the meantime, Diana posted this on Friends Who Like Cemetery Dance, and I just thought it was awesome. Did all of the Holly slipcases get printed backwards? So not only are you going to get slipcases for books that are like 3 years old, and you're funneling a Ponzi scheme empire that would make Marty Bird blush, to be honest. They also might come printed backwards. I love it. Somebody's like, well, it could just be printed upside down. Fair enough. It's still not matching the setup that they've instituted. I don't know if there's an industry standard on slipcases where you put the foil stamping. I tend to agree that that Holly one down here in the corner looks backwards because I expect to see the cover of the book and the cover on the slipcase in the same handhold. You know what I'm saying? But on this one, you can't put the book in and see the cover reflected next to the slipcase. So I just thought it was funny. A little thing worth pointing out. The quality you can expect from feeding this Ponzi scheme. Oh my God. I do. The credit doesn't work for anything in the actual store. I know. It's really ridiculous. You have to pay extra for the slipcases to make sure they aren't printed upside down. I'm shocked they didn't say the printer was out of ink and they just had to do the solid black ones. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be. It's a plain slipcase, but it's elegant. Have we done the math on how much they make off those slipcases if they sell out? No, I didn't. He's doing 5 slipcases, 250 each of each. And they are how much? What is it? 35 or 25? $35 each, and you're welcome to order as many as you like. So 35 times 12 1,250. I don't have a calculator. I don't have it. I'm not going to do it. I don't even have an abacus like they do down in Argentina. But I'm sure it's a lot of money. I don't know what he's paying the person he's going to throw under the bus later when those slipcases are late. I hope that person offers scapegoating services for free. I don't know how they do that. Like, hey, I'm going to buy these slipcases off you. I'm also going to shit all over your business. Okay, if you pay me the money, I guess I'll take the money. So it's a hard world out there right now. People got to make ends meet. 43,750. Nice. Just a smooth 44K. Also, no chance in hell they would stop at 250 if the orders were rolling in. No way. They don't they print and they print, and I think that's just another way. This guy thinks he's like he thinks he's in Carlito's Way or Goodfellas or some bullshit like that. He thinks he's onto some scam. I laughed at Barry wanting $75 for a slipcase for that next Bradbury release. I know, but they're going to do that. Barry, Richard Chismar, who else is just a crap piece of shit human being? I don't know. And it's pure profits. They'll never send them out. Yeah, it's just like funny. It's like you're buying a promise that will break. That's all. Shit will never ship. Yeah. Sorry, the case maker is delayed. Yeah. But he has to pay for them out of that. He does if they ever get made. So who knows? It's a big shell game. He's moving shit around. He thinks he's a baller, he thinks he's a big time player. But yes, and I do want to touch on what happened with Mother Horror this week. Just as a refresher for all of us on what censorship starts like, where it goes. Because it's funny, last week when we were talking about gatekeepers, and I talked about Brian Keene and Christopher Golden and Gabino Iglesias and how they are gatekeepers, and it really pisses me off. And I said, someone who gives me that vibe, and I backtracked. I'm like, Mother Horror seems to give me that vibe. She does seem to be putting herself as the authority on what's good to read and what's not acceptable. And it gave me that vibe, but I backed away. Everybody's like, no. And then this week, she posts what she posts. And honestly, my jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe it. I didn't expect it. And it was extremely wrong. And I'm not even gonna spin it and say how she probably came to that conclusion is honest enough. But basically, I don't know if you've all seen that. I don't know if you saw what happened. Do you all have the screenshots from that Mother Horror nonsense? I missed that totally. I do have the screenshots. I missed it. I've been at work all freaking day. This was over the week. Where did she post it? It was on Instagram. I'll show you. I have it up here. So it started out. Let me get that rolling. What happened here? Let's see. It started out. Okay. So here, I'm trying to get it set up. I wish I didn't take like really good screenshots, and I think I borrowed some from somebody, but here's how it started. And I'm not even getting the whole thing because it's in the comments here. So no more violence to animals in fiction, especially pets, right? So she's saying none of this. And she wrote down here like, hello, I'm Mother Horror, Sadie, and I'm going to start up a petition. I don't have, if anybody has the caption to this, that's where I fall down. I didn't grab it. But she basically, because I didn't think she would do what she did. This is gone. It's not on. If you're looking for it on Instagram right now, it's gone. She 86'd it. Like it never happened. Because she knows, and that tells me she knows she went too far. She shouldn't have written this. She's too influential in horror to not be taken seriously, to not be listened to. And the comments she started getting under this image were basically, I agree. I don't want to see an animal die. I'm tired of that one scene in that one book and you got to shelf your empathy for people who don't like nobody who reads a horror book is rooting for violence on innocent animals or children or anybody, right? Nobody is. It's not like we read it to be like, oh yeah, kill that thing. The whole thing about horror is understanding humanity. It's understanding what is the limit of what people will take. How do they right these wrongs? How do they get justice? How do they get revenge? How do they eliminate the evil that did such horrible things? You build the evil up in the book. You got to see it. You got to know how awful it is. And then the hopefully the correction comes along and it's super satisfying because that was such an awful thing. Yeah, I am a dog person, 1,000%. I think I've talked about it. Like we don't even like I had cameras set up in my house. We went to see my we went to visit my sister's house, my sister-in-law's house, and I have cameras up and my dog was howling in sorrow and I had to leave the party. I couldn't take it. Looking at it on the camera and the dog had free run of the house, had food, all he need. I am an animal person 1,000% and I agree. Yeah, it's a rough thing to read. But you cannot do this. And she said, I'm starting a petition. I don't want authors to do this. No more violence to animals. I- It is like, and honestly, I have no tolerance for people who want the world to bend to them instead of adjusting. You know what? If the world has given you too much grief this week, maybe sit out that horror book. Maybe mix it up. I get it. You know, too much real bullshit's going on. Step back. I have panic attacks and anxiety and all that. Maybe I don't read. Don't let them get you down right now. Maybe it's too much. You know, but anyway, so this is infuriating. You cannot dictate these things, especially if you're somebody who's pretty influential in horror. And when I went there to comment on it, this is what I found. She shut the comments off. Boom, gone. You can't weigh in because I was going to start saying, "Hey, can we have no books that talk about falling from great heights? Because I'm afraid of heights." Or can we have no books talking about ripping your fingernails off because that gives me the willies. I don't like reading that. It's like, and I almost wrote, tell me you don't like horror books without telling me you don't like horror. This is super, super irresponsible and reckless. And then she did a correction here. No, it's not a real petition. There's a typo. I filled in. No, it's not real petition. But maybe but maybe authors will see the response and consider their audience, which is genuinely my intention. She's basically saying, I'm not obviously going to create a petition with any legally binding standing, of course. You can't do that. Like somebody said, who's she going to send the petition to? God? Who's overseeing enforcing this no violence to animals rule in fiction? Nobody. But she's admitting here she wants it to influence, she wants to censor authors who are writing a story and make them okay, well, I can't do that. Oh, so violence to the disabled is okay. Somebody's wheelchair bound and then and somebody comes out and tortures that person. That's okay. Where do you draw the line? Like you then start to say, yeah, I don't agree with that. Domestic violence. Look at Rose Matter. I think if you're a woman who has been through an experience with a animal husband like that, that book is going to be very upsetting. Look at Dolores Claiborne. To certain people, those books are going to be awful. It's going to be like reliving their trauma. So you're okay with that, mother horror? Like, it's just such a narcissistic, arrogant, gatekeeping stance to take that it really is blood boiling. And in the conversations I had with people once this blew up, um, somebody pointed out that an author I adore had to take something out of an upcoming book because the publisher said, "Hey, could you take this one scene out? I don't think it's going to go well." And I've read a version of that book and I know what that scene is. It's a pivotal scene. It is a pivotal scene and it's coming out. And I don't know how the author's going to change it. And you know, I'm not going to out anybody, whatever it is, but it boils my blood. Censorship of any kind. And this is soft censorship. And once you got 100, 400, there were 400 comments under this. And once you got 400 people saying, yeah, I don't like that either. You know what I would recommend to Sadie is you like doing lists of books. Like that's your thing. 101 books to read before you're murdered. Whatever it is. She said her next book is feminist. I don't know if she's writing a story or just applying a feminist filter to literature. I don't know what it is. But do a book, do a listing of animal safe books. In these books, no animals get hurt. Did you call up Stephen King and bitch about church in Pet Cemetery? Like that whole book is about dead animals. I'm reading Darker Days. There's bunny violence in this book. Dead bunny violence. Who's the arbiter? I just who appoints yourself as the gatekeeper of content? And then you know what? I'm not saying I'm going to ban it myself, but I hope authors censor themselves and have that little voice in their head and say, no, you can't go there. Pull back, sure. Let's stifle art. How about heavy metal? When the people were trying to ban heavy metal because of the perceived satanic panic. What if they said, okay, well, we'll make really milquetoast songs? I'm so over it. It is infuriating. And for somebody in her position to do that, oh, well, we can't see that. Anyway, I went too far. So, this is my tire blew out. That's horrible. I shared that. And then, yeah, edit for clarity. This is not an actual ban and nowhere near book banning. Are you sure about that? I'm like that mean that Tim, that comedian, that Tim, what's his name? I don't know. He's a really funny guy. But are you sure? Are you sure, Sadie? This isn't anywhere near a book ban. I love it because the people who don't see the book ban element of it are the ones who agree with the book banning. You just said, I want authors to censor themselves. It is absolutely irresponsible. And she knows it was. And you know what? Maybe she had a bad day. Maybe she's like, I'm at my limit with this world. And you know what? Maybe you call yourself Mother Romanticy. I don't know. Get out of the horror lane then. Just say, I am not, you know what? I'm taking a break from horror right now. Because yes, these are powerful books. If they're well written, they're powerful. They should shape your thinking. They should make you feel things. And if what you want to feel isn't sad or horrified, maybe read something light. Read Richard Bach, Illusions. That's a nice book. It's one of the few pleasant books I have that nothing bad happens. Richard Bach, Illusions. Or something pleasant. You need a palate cleanse. Everybody needs a break. But to sit there and petulantly stamp your foot and say, I want people to make the world safe for me, is the weakest, most self-absorbed position a person can take. You just say, I need to recommend, whatever. I don't even agree with trigger warnings. If you're somebody who's been through trauma, okay, I understand you're looking out for things and you don't want to hurt yourself even more. But I think if you're that on the edge, just step aside. There's so many great books to read that don't involve the content that I just happen to love horror. And I think like horror puts people in extreme, horrible situations. And from that contrast, you see the humanity. And that's why I don't like extreme horror, because it's just giddy in the violence, right? I don't think you're getting at the humanity. I think it's an arms race of gore and disgust. So I don't like it. But that's just me. And I think science fiction, they take people out of this world and put them in some fantastic realm or fantasy. And you from the contrast, you get the humanity. That's why some of the best science fiction, those who walk away from Omelas, it's perfect. What are people willing to accept What is the bridge too far for an ideal world? Oh, am I dying here? Oh, I didn't know if somebody said I was blanking out here. Um, what have I missed? So Richard Matheson and I Am Legend is had just entered the chat. I missed all that. I sleep too much. No, I don't blame you. I don't follow her, so that's why I missed it. I didn't follow her. It was called to my attention. I mean, I do follow her, but I didn't see that post until someone pointed out to me. Um, well, that's disappointing. It is. It was shocking. But again, that gatekeeper vibe, I will never be a gate. I could tell you if I had an audience that matched Mother Horrors, I would never gatekeep. I would give you my opinion. I would tell you what I think works, what doesn't. And I advise you to stay away from cemetery dance, mostly because of entirely because of the business practices. Has nothing to do with the content. But I tell you, nothing boils my blood faster than censorship. I can tell you, like, that should be absolutely sacred, um, a sacred battle for everybody in this community. Any kind. I can disagree with you. I can hate your opinion, but god damn it, you should never be nobody should ever be silenced. If I don't like what you're saying, I'll either debate you or walk away. Like, those are the things that we do in the battlefield of ideas. It's not by silencing people. And that's political discourse or that's debate, but it's also vital to fiction. Write what you believe, what you feel, serve the story. You have to go to dark places to write horror. It's just shocking. I was shocked. She's like the avatar of the book bender. It's amazing to me so many people go ape shit over animal abuse books in books, but read about people get effed up. Makes no sense. I know, like, I can't I became a dad and I read The Stand. I read The Stand several times before I became a dad. Then I became a dad. Reading The Stand was, and I was a new dad, like I had an infant around somewhere. And my God, I read a story about, I read The Stand, and one of the pages had a 5-year-old who survived the plague. Everybody in his town died. Stephen King was trying to show the reverberations. People from the plague die, but then there are casualties because of those people dying. Now other people will die. It's a reverberation and shows like how these things happen in waves. And everybody in this kid's town died. His parents, everybody. So this kid, 5-year-old kid, had to fend for himself. And he was riding his big wheel around and he rode it over a decommissioned well and fell in a well. And it took him, I think Stephen King said it took him like 2 weeks to die at the bottom of a well begging for his parents. I read that. I shut the book. I was like, I can't take this. I cannot possibly take this. And that one author I talked about in that part of the book, when something happens, I also felt equally, I'm not going to tell you what the scene was, like shocked. And I knew why that had to happen. It was illustrating the whole point of the book. But it was horrible. And it was like shocking. And it takes your breath away. And you have to take a moment. I just don't get it. Go read some horror comedy. Go read Jeff Strand. I couldn't believe she made that post for an influencer with 120K followers to make a post like that. Is so disappointed. One of the biggest influencers for the genre. Yeah. If not number one. Yes. Yes. And in that position, I love what she does, recommending books and advocating for books she loves and authors she loves. I did like Nightworms. Unfortunately, she can't ship a hardcover without damaging it. So I stopped buying from Nightworms. But I always respected her. And I think authors respected her. And to see that, and then those 3 screen grabs I showed, showed that she was dealing with the feedback. I don't know who told her or convinced her to take it down. I did see a lot of support, but there were some people that said, "This is a really shitty take," and she took it down. So she came to her senses at some point, um, never but defiantly so, and took it down and like, "I'm gonna move on." But we need to keep remembering that lesson of why it's such a bad thing to do. It's like we forget all the time, and it's I guess, when I was growing up with the satanic panic and heavy metal, it's made me real sensitive to this because I'm like, you guys just are just trying to ban something you don't understand, don't appreciate. I've, I mean, I've the least violent person on the planet, maybe. Maybe there is maybe Mr. Rogers was less violent than I am. I can be loud. Loudness is violence, maybe. You can't ask some people. It does feel like it hurts, but um, but I read horror and I listen to metal, love metal, and honestly, I don't think anything's made me more empathetic than horror and heavy metal. I don't. I've only gotten to see the humanity in other people through the fiction I've read and the music I've listened to. And so when I see somebody come for that and attack it, especially from somebody within the house, it takes a moment. You could take the post down, you could run from it. But the fact that she probably still thinks it was an okay thing to do, it just wasn't well received. It was getting distracting. I don't know what she thinks, but she took it down without explaining why she took it down. And her subsequent posts were all just business as usual. So, I don't know. She should be more concerned about real animal abuse instead of you know what? Yes, I think there are things you could do. I there where I moved to this part of the world, there are so many more stray animals. Um, our dogs are picky eaters. Sometimes they don't eat all of what we give them, and I don't want to throw it out, so I leave it outside for the raccoons and the possums because there are abundance of animals in this part of the world, and I don't like to see any of them suffer. And so, yeah, there are take that upsetness, funnel it to something positive. And I will agree. I think if an author writes a story where there's just gratuitous violence and it's there for the exploitation of violence, then you could call that author out. You could do a review. You could say there's nothing redeemable about this book. This is really gross. You could do all that. You could say those things. You could warn people. You can make a list of no animals get hurt or Fido makes it or whatever. Like you could call it whatever you want, and you can make a list that people who share that sensitivity will be like, okay, well, I feel this is Sadie approved. Maybe that's fine. We can all direct people to preferences, but to squash it, like do something positive. Don't subtract. Add. Someone wrote a response today saying why there can't be an end to things that may trigger someone. I cannot remember which author it was, but it was good. This makes posts I did see this weekend make way more sense. Yeah, there were responses to it. Not vague booking necessarily, but people talking about that general issue. Um yeah. At some point, they would just ban all horror books, and we would end up in a world of Fahrenheit 451. Yeah. I mean, that's why not just do that? Why not just do that? Um, cut to the chase. It's very efficient. If you don't want to be offended, don't read. Well, it's not just that. If you don't want to be offended, you can't exist. If being offended decimates you, you cannot survive the world. Something is going to offend you. The best thing you could learn is strength and understanding that I'm offended, I'm annoyed, but I've survived 100% of my bad days to this point. You know what? You could file it, you could use it as a lesson. I don't know, but nobody likes to be offended or hurt. I don't like to see that. But you can't make the world safe from every peril. You can't. There's it's just it's a childish, it's an emotionally stunted way to go about life. And I'm not saying that with no sensitivity to people who struggle with depression or anxiety. I get it. I get it. And I would rather, instead of seeing you cower and surrender, I would rather see you get stronger. I would rather see people not embrace their weaknesses, but overcome them. I thought that's what people did. And I think, you get desensitized, or you get something out of the system that you think is objectionable. A lot of people don't like violence against pets. I don't cheer for it, but a lot of people don't like it. You get that out of the system, then what else? And then the next thing. And like you said, it's just after a while, you're gonna be living in a world of redaction. Mother censorship. Yeah. As Bugs Bunny would say, what a maroon. Yeah. Never heard of her, but sounds like she wouldn't like old school Looney Tunes. Oh my God. No, no, no. I'm tired of people reading books. They specifically upset them and then know it and then upset the book is exactly what they don't want to read. And I'm like, what? Yeah. 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 I have gone and read extreme horror, even though I find it I just don't have respect for it necessarily. But I have read it to see what and I've come away going, yeah, that was just piling it on just because it's trying to see how much you could take. And I gotta find a value in a book. Like, I just gotta find I'm reading Darker Days still. I'm almost done with it, I promise. Brilliant book, man. Brilliant book. And there's value to it. There is a message to it. I connect with it because I've had some horrible Novembers, obviously. Not the way it's going, but you could feel that. You could feel that noose tightening. Oh my God. What an awesome book. I'm sorry Stephen Wayne Allison Jr. didn't like it, but hey, Chad's here. Evening, man. Don't get me started on trigger warnings. I read a great article once in the New Yorker regarding studies done around them and how psychologically they do more harm than good. Yes. Here's a story. I was told I went to I took psychology in high school, and I went into class and our teacher said, "Okay, guys, I'm going to show you a film today. And I want you to know it's a reenactment. This is not real what you're about to see. This is a reenactment of an accident on the railroad. Um, but we're going to study how the assignment basically was studying abnormal psychology and how this person, basically, his name was Phineas Gage, I think, and a pipe goes up through his neck and out the top of his head, and he lives, but he has emotional problems. He has all these sort of short-term memory problems, but he lives. He has the function, his organs function, and he continues to persist. But he goes, but I'm showing you this film. It's a reenactment, but it looks so real. I've had students faint. So, man, he tells me that I'm bunched up, and I'm a horror movie fan, right? I'm all bunched up and I'm like bracing myself. And when that scene happened, I got lightheaded. I'm like, whoa, whoa, that was pretty bad. And I think the whole thing was sort of, I could feel him like he primed the pump, and I think he was aiming for that result to see how many people were kind of rocked back on their heels. Because it felt more like a setup than a warning. And I imagine that's exactly what these trigger warnings do. They prime the pump, they get you bracing yourself. And, you know, it all depends on how the violence is handled. A dog dies in a book. But why? Why did the dog die? What were the circumstances around it? But when you boil it down to this just label, people discard the whole thing. They don't even examine the work. It's just, it's a really, again, emotionally stunted, childish, immature, make the world safe for me attitude that does not get to progress. It's regression. We're going to be unable to handle the real world, even less so than we already don't handle it, causing unnecessary anticipatory anxiety and cause you to think more on the trigger itself. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that is absolutely, I could see that. Hi, Chad. Agree with you on that. Jeff Strand is awesome. I finally read Pressure and Deathless from Earthling, and oh boy, they are intense. Yeah, Pressure was a weird one because it was his. There was no humor in it. Oh my god, how long have I looked like this? I just feel like, ugh, ugh, ugh. It was humorless, and usually Jeff Strand is funny as hell. Deathless had the humor in it. So I like that sequel better than the original, but damn, yeah. Talk about trigger warnings. Um, Always believed if you read something in a book that bothers you that much, put it down, find another. I don't want a warning. No one knows what bothers me but me. That's true. And you could even say, like, you get to the part where a dog dies or there's violence to pets, and it was like not that intense. You're like, oh yeah, that's awful, but okay, I get it. I can roll with it. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what's gonna set you off. I was set off by Don't Let Them Get You Down, but what was another book recently? I had to just, like, chill. Damn, what was it? But it was a very specific terror that it opened up, and I just had to walk away for a minute. I never blame the author, and I never get mad at the world, and I would never write a post going on about it. Chad, oh man, that's fascinating. It makes so much sense. Yeah. Mhm. Revoke the driver's license, revoke the right to be offended, emotional damage, emotion. Well, I can't do that accent. Oh man, I almost tried to. No, 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 no. Nobody's doing the accent in the house. No, 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 no. Uh, hey, yeah, and I still got beer. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I thank you um, for your kindness earlier, Jesse, but I am not. I'm not doing a. I do the roar. I don't know what the roar from Shrek was. Just a belch. Like what is the roar? Oh, I gotta let this dog out. Hold on. Come on, Willow. Come on. No violence to animals on my watch. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Anyway, I think that you just roar. I got to tell you, when I was in first grade, I told a kid on the playground that I liked a girl in the classroom. 6 years old. I said, hey, don't tell anybody, but I like that girl. And we went back in the classroom and we had lunch. We usually had recess and then lunch. I don't remember how it went. I was 6 years old. And I sat down at my desk and I was eating because I went to Catholic school. You had to eat at your desk, you had to eat out of your desk. And the kid I talked to said, hey, everybody, Jeff likes so and so, right? And everybody went, ooh, in the class. Everybody, they all turned and looked at me. You know what I did? My favorite show at the time was The Hulk. So I'm like, we're going to take a page out of the Hulk's book. I stood up and I went, Arr! I growled at everybody. And suddenly they didn't think it was funny anymore. They're like, we found the unhinged one early. We're going to mark that down in our journals tonight because we're going to be in classes with him for the next 7 years. I growled at him. So I have emotional damage from growling at a room full of people. I think I'm just not gonna roar. Oh man, yeah, I think we've covered all the stuff that I was really thinking of as far as like these bullshit things that happened in the collecting world. And let's talk about this. You just roar. Let's talk about this, man. This is this is something that I you can get it at Barnes and Noble right now. Barnes and Noble. You can pre-order I almost said Terminator. Talisman 3, Other Worlds Than These. And they're talking about it's going right for the Dark Tower. So the Dark Tower universe expands here. Whatever they said in the subject line. What did they say? The Dark Tower universe expands. And you can get it 30% off. I have no idea how big the book is. The Talisman is one of my all-time favorite books, period, full stop. I love The Talisman. And Black House, I don't remember reading. I did read it. I don't remember much about it at all, but I am so excited for this book. It's coming out October 6th. You can pre-order it now. You get 30% off. Oh man, I just cannot believe, and it's tied to the Dark Tower. This is like water in the desert. At the same time, I'm not a moron. I'm not an idiot. I swear to you, no matter what you think of me every week, I am not an idiot. And this book is either going to be, I'm either going to be crying halfway through this book just from the nostalgia, or I'm going to want to whip it across the room. I have a bad feeling I'm going to want to whip it across the room. Got a bad feeling about this. But at the same time, there's absolutely no way I'm not buying this and reading it the day it comes out. No way. And before I read this, I'm reading The Talisman and Black House, and then I'm jumping into this. And it's probably going to suck so bad. And you know what? It's going to suck so bad. And because of my love for The Talisman, it's going to hurt that much more. Like Doctor Sleep could have caused me real damage, but it didn't. But it could have because I love The Shining so much. And that book was a pale echo of the magic of the original. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to this release. I'm going to reread The Talisman and Black House before it comes out. Yeah. It's a bit over 300 pages. Oh, really? Huh. Interesting. So that's not a nothing book. You know, it's not a chunker that I would love. Yes, Talisman 3 cannot wait. I know. I'm the I'm in the only person watching Jeff on a projector. Oh yeah. Man, I'm huge. I'm on a projector, right? I'm on a big wall. I feel so bad for anybody you live with. I read The Talisman when I was a teen and loved it. I tried to read Black House as an adult and couldn't finish it. I think I'm going to stick with my fond memories of the original and skip the third. Damn. I don't know how you could do that, Ron, because I'm in the same boat as you. When I read The Talisman, I was a teenager. And then yeah, in 2001, Black House came out and obviously an adult physically, you know. And I had the same reaction. I'm like, what is this shit? The only thing I remember from Black House is the opening scene where there are birds looking down at a house. They're swirling overhead. That's literally all I remember. And it's kind of a good thing. I'm actually happy because I'll get to read it fresh. I'll give it a new trial. I thought it was darker. It wasn't a coming of age story. It was a lot darker and kind of lost that fantastical element of a 12-year-old Jack Sawyer going cross country with a werewolf. Oh man. Epic stuff. That was so good. I hope in the third one he kills Gwendy and Richard Chismar. If you read Death Bus, I don't know if you read Death Bus. I don't know. I'm really worried. I didn't kill any animals in Death Bus. Anyway, um, so Ron, I think you should just give it a try. You should reread Black House. I'm gonna do it, but I agree with you. I'm kind of the same way. I didn't read any King as a teenager. Really? Huh? Really? Not at all. Is there people who hasn't read Death Bus? Yeah, there are. There are a lot of people who haven't read Death Bus, or they read it and they're just like, "Ooh, we're just never talking about this again," which is okay. It's fine. I did it. I wrote it. I loved it. Had fun with it, and I really genuinely meant what I wrote, as far as like really tried my best to make it something worth reading. So, yeah, no memory of Black House. Have to reread. Yeah, isn't that sad? I think the Talisman was mostly King. I think Black House was mostly Peter Straub because the writing was more academic. It felt that way, more maybe more literary. It just wasn't as like kept hitting a wall. You know what I'm saying? It kept like it didn't flow. First book, first book of his I read was Carrie, the paperback. It came out in '75. I was 20. Okay. So I see what you didn't get the joy, and it really was a joy, Mark. As a kid growing up reading these books, you know, damn, you're 17 years on me. Wild. Um, Black House is greater than the Talisman. Well, I love Black. Well, I got a little something to look forward to. Um, because I got the set, man. Officer, he walked right up to the camera and he pulled it out and he said, "I got the set." The gift set that is. Black House is signed by Straub, and the Talisman is not. But these are the books I'm going to read. Rick Barry art. I absolutely. I mean, this. I think I might have. Well, I don't know when I bought this, but I knew about Donald Grant way before I knew about Cemetery Dance, and I love this artwork. Black House, Rick Barry. I love it. It's like one of my favorite Stephen King covers. I wish they didn't interrupt the image. I'd love to see this without the spine in the middle. But yeah, I am. Oh, oh, this is so good. I thought that I thought this one was signed. Oh, you know what? I don't think Black House was signed. No, the Talisman is signed by Rick Barry and Peter Straub. This is unsigned. Okay, that's how the gift set worked. But I don't care. I am so looking forward to rereading these ahead of that. So and now it's nice 17 years physically, not sure about mentally or emotionally or intellectually. Sure. I'll take that. I'll take that. Man, that looks good. It is awesome. Roland come out in Black House. Did he? Comes out. He comes out in Black House, like in what there's multiple ways to say Roland comes out. Roland appears in Black House. I don't remember. Now I got to read it. You just shoved this up to the top of my TBR. Thanks for the rant. I've been wanting a good one right about now. By the way, Jeff, just read Keith Rosson's Coffin Moon and thought this might be a Jeff book. Just saying. Oh man, you're killing me because I read it. And I was just meh about it. I mean, I liked it. I liked Coffin Moon, but everybody said it was so good. and I thought Keith left a lot on the table. Um, so yeah, I'm true 22. I don't know if that's a different handle, but um, I'm happy to supply the rant. I was just so pissed off this week, and it's good to get it out. It's really good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I wanted to love the book. I wanted to, but Dwayne Miner was just an unrealized character. Like he didn't go the distance in the book, and it really left me disappointed. I did love the whole him and Julia dynamic, and I thought she was a great character, and I liked how, in a lot of ways, she was more adult than he was. But I don't know, it just needed more. Just needed more. He's read it. I'm halfway through. It's making me drink a lot. Yes, I'm blaming my recent alcohol intake on that book. Well, he is in a bar a lot. I saw today that Flanagan has the entire first season of The Dark Tower written, and King likes it. Ooh, I have total faith that Mike Flanagan will nail it, and I can't wait for it. I love The Dark Tower. Yeah, Coffin Moon should have been longer. It reads like a horror film with more depth or without depth. Good stuff in it though. So there's that. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in it. Um, I love the villain. I thought that was a great villain. It's just I don't know the final showdown. Everything just didn't. I don't know. I read right after that When the Wolf Comes Home and was blown away. So, and I went into that book with high expectations too. So, anyway, this is fun. Thanks for the therapy session. I'm glad I was able to rant, and the rant was well received, and hopefully everybody keeps in mind what censorship can smell like and how we just got to say no. Just say no. Oh, cuz what a tragedy, cuz the very little in this world can make is a safe happy place anymore. Please don't take away my horror. Oh my god, please don't. So, um gotta go, everyone. Have a great weekend. Good night. Take it easy, a number one. Good to see you. Sorry, I thought I said hi to you, or I didn't see you earlier, but I don't remember saying hi to you. So, good night to everyone. Be good to each other. Be good to your pets. Seriously, that should be a thing. And be good to everyone. Keep the horror in the books where it belongs. Just that time, everyone. Take care until next time. Yes, David. Hope to see you again next week. And until then, just stay frosty. You're gonna make it through. You're gonna make it through. I promise.